What's happening, everybody? It's your girl, Koffe Brown, out here in these Texas streets. Man, it's been a crazy week for me. I transitioned and had to get some more licensing to do what I've been doing. And I lost a whole day. My whole class was a whole day ahead of me, and my system was down. And they had 8 hours more time than I did to do the same thing. And the requirement was that, hey, you know, P. Koffe, I hear you. I heard you say the system was down, and I know it was down. Nonetheless, you still got to finish when the class finishes. So, man, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, man, I got to finish when the class is finished. This ain't fair. This ain't no fair advantage. I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, wow. So you telling me they all got 8 more hours than me, but you got the same expectation of me? Oh, I said, man, that's cold. That's real cold. Man, I said, 8 hours. Where am I going to get 8 hours from? So I started thinking and pondering. I said, man, I got to figure out how I'm going to get 8 hours. 8 hours outside of everything else that I'm doing. 8 hours outside of my responsibility. 8 hours outside of building my brand and everything else. I was like, man, how am I going to get 8 hours? So you know what? I got a calculator and I said, okay, if you take a nap for 3 and you get up, you hit the gym and you go hard, you can stay alert and awake for at least 14. So that gave me about 3 more. That was the first 3 hours. And then I thought to myself, well, if I do that and when I lay down, I'm just gonna pass out, and then my body will wake up when it's time for me to wake up. And lo and behold, I don't have an alarm, and most of the time, the alarm goes off after I'm already up and out of the bed. So I was like, okay, cool. So I can get these extra 3 hours right here. And then I had to figure out, I said, okay, now how am I gonna get 5 more hours? So I was pondering, because I really needed the time in order to execute this correctly and get it done right. Because if you submit something in underwriting training wrong, guess what? You get a failing score, and you still have to go back and do it. And if you know how I am, I'm not going to get no failing score. I don't want a failing score. I don't like failing. That's just not in me to fail. So I don't like to fail. When I do fail, I get really agitated because I don't like failure. Failure is not something that I like. And failure really is only in the grave. You fail once you die. So I just don't like repeating myself. So I figured, man, I got to figure out how to get these 5 hours, because I'm not going to repeat something like this intense. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to be with my class, because if I don't graduate with my class graduates, guess what? I get all the way left behind until the next opportunity presents itself. And I don't even know when that is, and I don't care. Today, I want to talk to you about why you have a plan B. Listen. If you have a plan B, you're suggesting to plan A that it's not going to work. Never have a plan B, because you're telling the universe that plan A is not going to work. I don't make a plan B. When I came here to Texas, I didn't plan to come back. People kept saying, you know, but if you don't make it and something happens, you can come back. I was like, oh, no. I didn't say it to them, and inside of my mind, I was like, oh, no, baby. When I make a decision, I marry my decisions, and I don't turn back unless I can see that the direction that I'm going in is not going to get me the desired outcome, or it's not going to be a good idea in the long run. So listen, when you make a decision, make the decision and stay married to it regardless of what transpires in the process. And so, man, I said, you know what? I had my 3 hours and I had to get 5. Do y'all know that yesterday, and my little sister from another mother and father was grilling me like, oh my God, are you finished with that test yet? She was asking me. I said, no, I ain't finished, man, but I promise you I'm gonna finish it today. Yesterday, I got in my office at like 7 a.m. You know what time I left last night? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. No lunch, no nothing. I sat in my office. This is my office now. It's my organization. I get to make the moves. So in order for me to be the boss, I got to pay the cost. And I don't mind paying the cost. I want to pay all that I got to pay so it won't come back to bite me in the butt later on. Man, I stayed up in here for 13 hours. Guess what? I passed my class. So how about they behind me now? How about those odds? So not only did I get my full 8 hours, but I'm ahead of schedule because I made a decision. When you make a decision, you got to stay married to it. Do not ever have a plan B, because you're telling plan A is not going to work. You're telling the universe that what you're saying is not what you believe. Never, ever, ever have a plan B. It's your girl P. Koffe Brown. Just wanted to share something with you for you to consider and think about in your brain when you start sending this mixed message and telling your mind that you're not going to get what you're after, or you're not really believing what it is that you say you're believing in. Never, ever have a plan B. Peace.